Hello, my lecturer, Miss Kita, and everyone else. My name is Muhammad Rizalti. You may call me Rizal. Today, I will present the result of my analysis of an article entitled "Does Power Predict Emotional Abuse in Adolescents' Romantic Relationship?" The author name is Gina Kolpunisa and Fatsri Kirana Anggarani. The journal name is Jurnal Ilmiah Psikologi Terapan. The research topic of this study is how power can relate to emotional abuse in adolescents' romantic relationship. The purpose of this study is to explore the association between power perception and emotional abuse. This article discusses the emotional abuse that often normalizes within relationship, and it can be reciprocal with both partners engaging in abusive behavior. This topic became important because previous research only explored power satisfaction and various forms of violence among college students, leaving the adolescent population under-researched. This study have two hypotheses. First is the relationship between power perception and the level of emotional abuse mediated by power satisfaction among adolescents in romantic relationship. And the second is emotional abuse in adolescents occur reciprocally. This study involved 184 adolescents aged between 15 to 18, comprising of 65 males and 119 females. The study was conducted using simple regression analysis technique, incorporating a mediation variable using the causal step technique proposed by Baron and Kenny. Kolpunisa and Anggarani use measurement such as the multidimensional measure of emotional abuse or MMEA, and to measure the emotional abuse power perception and satisfaction level, assessed using the power perception and power satisfaction scales. The result of this study was surprising, with the first hypothesis was rejected. In other words, power satisfaction cannot serve as a mediating variable between power perception and the level of emotional abuse. The second hypothesis was supported by this study, with the result suggesting that emotional abuse can occur reciprocally. The result of this study meant power perception and power satisfaction do not explain the emotional abuse in adolescents' relationship, and that emotional abuse is reciprocal for both partners. The previous theories indicating that power satisfaction mediates the relationship between power perception and emotional abuse in romantic relationship, but it's contradicting the result of this study. And then there was previous research findings that emotion abuse often occurs reciprocally. This aligned with this result of this study. There was 5 limitations with this study that the author mentioned. First is it did not collect reports from both partners. Second, this study is vulnerable to bias. Third, there is unequal gender of participant, with the majority is female. Fourth, participant limited in one region in Indonesia. Fifth, this study focused only on adolescents. This study have many strengths, but the most important strength is that the author using validated and reliable measurement scales. And the biggest weakness of this article is that the study relies on self-report data from only one partner, which means it really subjective and vulnerable to bias. There was a book called Broken Strings. The book was a memoirs of an artist named Aurélie Moyeremans. In this book, her boyfriend abusing her both physically and emotionally, and all of that was happening when Aurélie just 15 years old. In this book, her boyfriend always threatened to kill himself if Aurélie not giving up what he wants, abusing her emotionally with his words such as speak ill about her body and her lips, mocking her so that Aurelie feels worthless, and taking control of her life. The finding of this study correlated with this book, where power held by a partner can be used to abuse the other partners emotionally. I think that's all that I can say about this article. Thank you very much for your attention. Goodbye.